scholarship in my participating universities and industry partners from Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, and around the region. After the opening on Monday local time, I spoke with two members of the planning team for the festival, Melina Tuiramakai from the Cook Islands Prime Minister's Office and Emily Eastgate, Science Engagement Coordinator Pacifica at Te Otago Museum, the organization which initiated the festival. Melina Tuiramakai kicked off the conversation explaining the purpose of the festival.
So it's a long-term partnership with all of the key stakeholders that we have on board. So for this year, in 2022, the theme has been the synergy between traditional knowledge and science. And the Prime Minister today announced that the Prime Minister of the Cook Islands announced that the theme for 2024 will be space. And so we are looking at encouraging, the idea for the Science Expo is to encourage and inspire and empower our youth and our community in the Cook Islands and all throughout Pacifica to actually get involved in STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So that's the whole idea, to inspire them and empower them and give them opportunities to look at things in their own island perspective and their environment that they can actually see that science is important. The Prime Minister also mentioned that for us, traditional knowledge is science. And so he also mentioned how in the Cook Islands we know every different part of the coconut tree and the stages of the coconut, and that how we utilize this in our lives. Also with navigating, that we use the stars to help us with navigation. We look at the currents, we know the temperature changes, and we know the flora and fauna. So we know when we're close to an island, when we put our hand in the water, we can tell that we're closer. So it's extremely important for us in terms of climate change that we engage with our community. So not only our students, but also our community and even our visitors. We had quite a few visitors that came over to visit our Science Expo today.
Awesome. And yeah, I was just going to ask a little bit more about the turnout and who's turned up and who's interested in. So maybe just how long is this expo running for as well?
Okay, so in terms of the turnout, we had over 700 students that visited our Science Expo today. And as part of our outreach to the schools, is we actually worked with our sponsor, who is Otago Museum, as well as New Zealand NZA, who also supported us to bring the students on the buses from each of the different schools. And if you can imagine, there was over 500 students in the morning and over 200 students that came in the afternoon. And it really was exciting to see them. They're all the way from ECE all the way to senior level college that participated throughout the day. Yeah, it was really exciting, especially from, I guess, being an international partner. So for us, for our staff, there's 4 of us who have come over. The US Embassy has funded us to come and do science outreach across the Pacific. And for us, we try to, as Mel was saying, we talk about different kinds of science, and we try to teach this idea that there is no sort of one avenue to STEAM. There's traditional knowledge, there's all kinds of ancient knowledge, there's Western science, there's so much going on, and it's not necessarily for us about linking the two together perfectly, but it's about observing, and we normally call it the vast, the space in between. Observing that space in between traditional ancient knowledge, modern science, and showing kids that they don't need to pick any one path to science. And that's why it's so important that we've got so many partners who are coming around and they're telling different stories of science. At the Te Otago Museum stand, my co-worker always introduces her kind of exhibit for the pūrākau, which is a traditional Māori
story. And then she'll start talking about some of the modern science behind it. So for us, it's great for our learning too. It's a really hard topic to cover. And for us, it's very much like an exchange of knowledge with the Rangitaiki. So much within 2 hours of the expo beginning. And that is knowledge that we can then take back home to Aotearoa and become better at what we do and share some of the knowledge that we take up here from Mel and her team from the children on the island. So, it's really, really special.
After 2 years of COVID restrictions on large gatherings, the Niuean community in Aotearoa, New Zealand have gathered to celebrate their language week. Wangahau Niue, or the Niuean language, has been registered with UNESCO as an endangered language. And Niuean leaders and community groups are being urged to explore solutions to ensure that the language continues to be spoken by current and future generations. Susanna Rangitaiki spoke with the chair of the Niue Youth Network, who began by explaining what the network is about and the challenges young Niueans face to speak their mother tongue.
NYN, or Niue Youth Network, was founded in April 2015, and we are a youth group that is branched off under the Wangahau Niue Trust. And the Wangahau Niue Trust is it's like the community organisation that plans Niue Language Week for New Zealand, such as coming up with the themes, coming up with the calendar events for Niue Language Week. We fall under the Wangahau Niue Trust, which is great because we get their support 100%. So this year's Niue Language Week theme is about sustaining the language and culture, but it's the same theme across other Pacific languages as well. Do you think the Niue language is endangered? Personally, yes, and it is evident as well. But I know that there are so many, small community groups out there, Niuean community groups out there that are trying their hardest to implement, different sort of resources and activities or events that would help sustain our language. In my household, for example, we don't speak Niuean. And it's only the parents that speak Niuean, and also like our aunties and uncles. But our generation, it's quite hard to hold a conversation in Niuean. So I could definitely agree with that statement. But I can also see that we are trying to do something as well about that. Yeah, so speaking of our younger generation, what do you think are some of the barriers that young Niuean face, especially those who are born and raised overseas, when it comes to maintaining languages? Thank you for that. I personally think that it would be social media, the use of technology, that's all in English. People that we hang around with, there's only so many Niuean groups out there. And it's not unless you're associated with that group, then you actually hear the Wangahau Niue. If you're not associated with a Niuean or any of those groups, then you won't actually hear any of that. And considering that we are a minority here in New Zealand, we don't actually come across many Niueans. And like I said, it's unless you are part of a community group, a church group, a youth group, that you actually hear those words. And I think that's one of the barriers as well. Trying to fit ourselves in one of those groups if we could actually find one. But I can see that, there are parents out there who are trying their best to put their kids into Niuean dance groups, getting them to learn songs, dances, and that's a great start. But I think that's one of the barriers that I can see in New Zealand. What's been some of the highlights that the network has achieved since its establishment? So Niue Youth Network, we have definitely got a lot of engagement from not only Niueans here in New Zealand, but also overseas. So New Youth Network on Facebook. So that page is part of a online social media movement, aimed at encouraging our whātu niue to embrace the love of being Niuean. We often hear that if you don't speak Niuean, that you are not considered to be a Niuean. And that's something that I totally disagree with. If you have a small bit of Niuean in you, then you are Niuean. So it's definitely a platform to encourage the everyday use of Whangaho Niue and to connect Niue youth in New Zealand, providing networking opportunities as well. So Niue Youth Network, we host different events throughout the year for Niue youth and also by Niue youth. And I think some of the highlights that we have had are actually engaging with some of the Niue youth that we've never met before. Just promoting Whangaho Niue on our online platform.
That's Pacific Waves for today. Remember, you can download us for free to your device from Spotify, iHeart, or Apple Podcasts. If you're using Apple, please leave us a rating so others can also find us. Utong kia.